There we go. Does anybody remember what we were talking about before Pascha came? We've been talking about Joshua, and that used to be the answer. And then we were talking about the judges, and that used to be the answer. And then we talked for a couple weeks about Ruth, and that was a nice answer. And now we are talking about Samuel. Does anybody remember Samuel? Anybody else remember Samuel? Put up your hand if you remember Samuel. Remember Samuel's mom, she didn't have any babies, and she prayed to God and asked that she would have children. And then she had Samuel. So you can put your hands down again. So she brought Samuel to the tabernacle, the tent where they worshiped God, because they didn't actually have a building yet, no temple, just a tent. She brought Samuel there, and she left him there from when he was 3 years old. Who's 3 years old here? Is Dimitri 3? He's 2. Okay. Who's 3? Theo's 3. So think Theo's age. When he was 3 years old, he came to the temple and he was serving God. How about that? Do you think that was because his mother didn't love him and want to have him home with her? Okay, so why did she bring him to the temple? What do you think? That's the answer. She promised God that if she was given a child, she would give the child back to God. Did she, stop loving Samuel after that? Well, I'll tell you what she did. Every year when they came to the temple, she brought a new set of fancy clothes for him to wear on the big feast days because, well, of course, he kept on growing. So she brought bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger sizes until he was grown as big as Vasily. Now, of course, we're talking about this also because it's Mother's Day. And I want you to think about it. What's a mother? What makes a mother? Okay, but, what makes, let me see. Who here is, I'm not going to do that. Okay, what is the one thing that has to be true for a lady to be a mother? She has to have a kid, right? So, does the child always stay with her? Nope. Grows up, goes away, does their own work. Does that mean that she's not a mother anymore? Okay. So that's interesting, right? A person can not be a mother for most of their life, or for a while, and all of a sudden they're a mother, and they never stop being a mother ever again. How about that? Did you think of that? Now, mom's just the person who gives me breakfast and wakes me up in the morning and sends me off to school and pesters me to clean my room. Right? Well, no. Mother is something more important than that. Okay? And Samuel's mother, whose name was Hannah, she loved him all the days of her life. She always came and took care of him, even though he lived somewhere else from when he was very young. Even though he had his own work to do, even though it was important, she always loved him. So let me see. What do you think a mother wants a child to do with his life? Right? What are the things that a mother wants their children to do? What do you think? What does a mom want to do? What's your mom want you to do? Anybody want to guess? What do you think? Be a good student. Okay, that's an answer. What do you think? Grow up well and stay connected to God. That's a good answer. What do you think, Daniel? Picking up the mess? What do you think the mother wants? What does your mom want you to do? What do you think? What does your mom want you to do? Make your bed. What does your mom want you to do? To clean up your room. What else? Be responsible. What does your mom want you to do? Make sure your room's clean all day. Okay, that's even better. Not just clean your room once, but make sure it stays clean. How about that? Are these the things that your mothers are always going to want from you? What do they want from you when you're 20? To get a job when you're 20. Wow, excellent. And what does your mom want from you when you're 30? To have a good family. What does your mom want from you when you're 40? Have kids, okay. What does your mom want from you when you're 40? To have a good job, not just a job, but a good job, right? What's the most important thing that your mother wants from you? That is the answer: to be connected to God. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you. Because your mother wants to take care of you more than anything, and she knows that you have to grow up, you have to leave, you have to do your own thing. And who's going to take care of you then? You'll do your best, but she wants you to be close to God, because God will take care of you when you grow up and leave the house and she can't take care of you anymore. So that's the most important thing. Yes, it's good if you grow up and learn how to clean your room and do your school and be responsible and get a good job and get married and have kids and raise a good family. But the most important thing that your mothers want for you is that you stay close to God, so that you always have someone to take care of you. That's what God does. And when you're close to God, then everything else comes from it. That's why Jesus says in the Bible, the most important thing to be concerned about: seek first, look first, pursue first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything else will be added to you as well. Okay? So, remember that. Wish your mothers happy Mother's Day. Be nice to them today and every other day. Stand up and let's take communion.